Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Science and Sorcery, the show where science communicators play Dungeons and Dragons. And it is a very, very special evening, as tonight is our 3rd anniversary. Who would have thought we'd ever end up here? My name is Dagmar, I'm the creator of Science and Sorcery, and I am joined by an all-star cast tonight, namely our DM for the evening, Science and Sorcery's very own artist, Alex Holtz, our producer, Sam Langford, our special effects board, Khalil Thurlaway, and our whatever the opposite of a moral compass is, Rachel Williams, as well as an incredible guest who we're very excited to have with us, one of the final player from our first campaign, The Legend of the Flaming Heteros, the fantastic Jasmine Arlett. We are, in fact, going back to those flaming heteros, which we all are, and we're returning to the city of Melded, where we're on a quest to find our friend Boomslang's long-lost treasure. Don't worry, you don't need to know anything about these people other than Sam's character wears really high heels. That's, I think, the only important backstory that you need, and the rest of it we'll explain as we go along. But before we can get into the story, a few very quick announcements. On the 3rd of December at 8 p.m. GMT, we are going to be running a Discworld stream. That is the Discworld TTRPG, gonna be live right here on Science and Sorcery, so be sure to tune in for that. We've got an absolutely amazing cast lined up. And then on the 6th, we are teaming up with yet another fantastic museum for the holidays, the Museum of Homelessness. For homelessness? For homelessness. Of homelessness. And we are going to be playing a game of Wonder Home. So open your hearts, open your minds, open your wallets, and tune in at 7 p.m. and get ready to just probably get your heart torn out of your chest and then donate to a fantastic cause. So we're very excited for that. We've also got some other things in the works which we were hoping to be able to announce tonight, but alas, we'd like to do them well rather than quickly. And so stay tuned. In the new year, we'll be giving you updates regarding the future of Science and Sorcery, our revamped Patreon, and more. Sam's dyeing his beard. And with that, Sam, over to you. You've got one final announcement for the audience.
Yeah, in addition to the beard dyeing, which news coming soon, we'll also be at Dragon Meet on the 30th of November, where we have live shows happening at 10 a.m. Khalil is going to be part of the Worldwide Wrestling RPG that's happening alongside Euphoria, RP Geeks, and the Transmissions. I think we previously mentioned that Rachel and Cleo will be in spandex all day, so watch out for that one. And on the same day at 10:30, Alex, Rachel, and I, alongside Taya Campbell-Over from Damsels in Distress, will be playing a game of You Awaken in a Strange Place. We're always going to be hanging out for the rest of the day. Hopefully we'll see some people there. Khalil's going to be part of an actual play panel in the POC lounge alongside some absolutely incredible people like Jasper William Cartwright from the Three Black Halflings in Dimension 20, organised by the wonderful Taylor Navarro. And yeah, you'll see us around there, so if you're around there, then please do come and hang out. We'd love to see you.
And with that, Alex, over to you as you take us back to the wonderful, horrible city of Melded, where who knows what monsters await us.
So, at the heart of the multiverse lies Sigil, the City of Doors. It is a nexus of reality where commerce and culture flow, and intrigues and machinations of all reality spills into a single melting pot. There is a mirror city, however. Let's say less a heart and perhaps more like a rectum. The City of Melded, the crumb tray of reality, where things that fall between the cracks land, and the use of copyrighted properties for parody purposes is something I can get away with. 2 years ago, Melded witnessed what is probably the greatest story of all time anywhere ever, available only on the Science and Sorcery YouTube channel. The incredible band, the Flaming Heteros, named for their all coincidentally heterochromic eyes, not only won the Battle of the Bands, but defeated the Dread Lord Doomcrawl and kind of triggered a kaiju battle. It was a whole thing. Anyway, the group's SoundCloud rapping interdimensional fuckboy Boomslang finally achieved his greatest wish and was reunited with his girlfriend Babe, the eldritch horror from between the universes, ascending to a different plane of existence where they could engage in some utterly wild kinks for the rest of time. And yet, this wasn't the end of the story for the Flaming Heteros. Yesterday, a decidedly ancient and moth-eaten Muppet lawyer turned up at stately Hetero Manor with a proclamation that, having been ascended for 2 years today, Boomslang was considered legally probably not going to come back for his stuff, and so his estate was being resolved. And it had all been left to the rest of the Flaming Heteros, all consisting of a note written on the back of a napkin stating the following. Hey guys, I'm writing this while weirdly lucid on a combo of drugs I've not tried before. Don't have long, but I've left all my stash with my personal hero, Nomdar the Barber in. That guy fucking gets it. But it's all yours now, and it has some really crazy, valuable stuff. Peace! The lawyer elaborated that crazy valuable in this particular context amounted to something worth approximately 9.2 million gold doubloons, 705,000 bars of platinum, and 36 euro, and 1 fucking Bitcoin. Which may go some way to explain why the Flaming Heteros are breaking into Elysium Hills, Melded's most expensive retirement home for adventurers, and currently battling an army of zombordalies. But enough of me talking for a bit. We are mid-melee right now, so could you introduce your characters and tell me a little bit about the beatdown they're laying on these undead minions? And starting with Lavinia Sharog.
Yeah, Lavinia has, she's still very much the same as she was 2 years ago. She's still a grey-skinned half-orc with dark hair pulled back into multiple braids. And the only noticeable difference, is she's wearing a wedding ring on her finger. Because she's gotten married since the band split up. She now runs an orphanage with her wife for sharks, but that's beside the point. And she loves Boomslang. Why couldn't he leave his inheritance in a more normal place? Why did it have to be a retirement community? This makes her feel old. And she hates zombies. And she's getting really sick of these bastards. So she has her elk mallet in one hand, this big warhammer carved out of this ironwood deer antler, and she's been swinging it around herself, and she just goes, oh, I am so fucking sick of these motherfucking zombies in this motherfucking retirement home, and raises up a single Allen key, calls upon the power of IKEA, goddess of design, Swedish efficiency, and turns undead. And zombies around her just erupt into dust and smoke.
And as that happens, we have this dramatic, the camera pans straight through the middle of the smoke and out to the other side, where we see Dream in the Sandstorm Oasis.
You see before you a leopard tabaxi and that has quite a few visual changes. One, they don't have their turban anymore, and they swapped their warlock robes for more monk robes. And yeah, think of Dragon Ball Z, probably get up, probably. It's probably best to describe that. She has a quarterstaff as well, and she's just throwing fists and kicks and just looking badass for doing it. More claws than fists, if you think about it like that sort of thing. She's kind of in the zone. She's not really saying much. She's not doing you can't see what's happening on her face. But she does she's got a serious look on her face of concentration and feeling I don't want to be fighting right now, but here we are. So there's one that's coming towards her, and she just shoots off an ice knife, and that goes straight through the zombie's head, looking pretty cool.
And as the camera follows that ice knife, we have a sort of dissection of the brain as the ice knife goes through and out the other side, silhouetting Reginald Hirsute.
A small 3.5-foot halfling, white beard. He maintains that it's white grey, but it's a white beard. He has a kind of maroon waistcoat, gold pocket watch, fantastic leopard print heels, and he is currently, as you see that slice through the brain, in the canteen of the retirement home. Picks up a ladle and casts animate objects on it.
The ladle looks at you expectantly.
Hello, are you there? Looking into the back of a spoon, but hi.
Hello.
Thank God someone finally just stops and talks for a moment. I've been looking for someone to speak to for quite a long time, and no one listens. You're a spoon. You usually come with other implements, but here you are all alone. You ever lost a friend?
I've only been sentient for 3 seconds, so I don't really know what a friend is.
Okay, a friend is someone that you care platonically quite a lot about, and me personally lost someone dear to me 2 years ago, and I've been searching for them ever since, and now we're on this journey to try and track down their estate, and I think everyone else is just going with it, and for me it's just insensitive, he's still out there somewhere, and I will turn to look at the wall and just cast contact other plane.
Okay, you does that need a roll or anything?
No, it's just that I cast it on myself, and
Okay.
Oh no, I do need to make a DC 15 intelligence, which I make that with an 18.
Okay.
Buddy, are you out there?
Well, in that case, I guess you've successfully made that roll, so I guess we pass over to Boomslang.
Okay, so it gets through.
Assuming that's who you're messaging.
Yeah, of course it is.
I think what you get back is a kind of garbled, almost just at the edge of phone signal, kind of. What? Enya? Oh.
I'll hold up the ladle. You're fucking useless, and then turn and just bash in the brains of the zombie.
And as you hear the squelching of zombie brains upon a ladle, who is learning many new words, we also hear a different kind of squelching as the ladle reflects in itself the face of Slim.
So, Boomslang being gone meant that the Flaming Heteros had an opening. And I think Slim, being the ever-curious person they are, probably auditioned, didn't get the part, but it's hard to tell him to leave because he's just so nice and well-meaning and kind of innocent. So Slim, for those not familiar with deeper cuts on SNS, is a kind of bioorganic formed warforged with a synthetic body and a head that is a big glass goldfish bowl. And at the center of this goldfish bowl is a petri dish, and in that petri dish is a golden orange slime mold. And this sentient kind of communal semi-monocellular organism is what controls this body partly through a biological computer in this bowl, but also by extending tendrils throughout the insides of this body and sometimes extending them out into the world. So content warning for Misphonia, there might be occasional squelching noises, but I'll try to keep them to a minimum. So Slim is wading through these zombie orderlies with the party, but really just not scared or adrenaline up or anything. They don't really experience that, but knowing that the most helpful thing they can do is to get rid of these zombies. And so with one arm, they don't have hands, they just have kind of the end of a wrist with some holes on the end of that plate, and out from that plate shoot a bunch of tendrils of slime mold. They grow across the floor, and they grow up from the feet of this zombie and cover its whole body, and they just kind of digest it from the outside. But while Slim's doing this to one zombie, there's another pair of zombies that get like way too close, and so with their other hand, they inject a bunch of tendrils into one zombie and get that zombie to start beating the shit out of the other zombie.
And with this dramatic zombie like Rock'em Sock'em Robots scene, one of them swings and knocks the other one's head out the way, and behind that we see Misery High Bluff.
And what you see is a tiefling flying aboard a broom. She's up in the air and just kind of looking down like she's just wrecked looking at these undead. And one of them kind of claws upwards towards her and just manages to get her leg. So there's a part of her calf which is exposed because she's wearing like magical Ugg boots with 2 little spider gems on the front, and then like 3/4 length leggings with a gilet which is zipped down to reveal her canonically buxom chest. And then she's wearing a long sleeve top that is like fitness material with like a little hole for the thumb, so when she's running, like it stays where it needs to stay, and her hair's like all up in one and kind of messy bun, and she goes ugh. And as she sees the blood like pour out of this little cut, she feels this just chilling rage, and you can almost see like the air around her shaking as she looks at this undead and just says, "You're disgusting. You're so disgusting. Your skin is disgusting. You smell disgusting. I think that you should just be exfoliated." And as she spits this out, the undead just kind of rips its own scalp open and tears its skin off from the top of the skull all the way down, as this psychic damage causes it to just utterly tear itself apart. And yeah, that's Misery High Bluff. Oh, and she's wearing glasses.
Perfect. No notes. So, with this sort of like, we pan to a scene with them all fighting simultaneously to get that cool money shot in, and then we bust the door at the end of the corridor open and reveal the first area of Elysium Hills retirement community. Gone, and behind you are the zombies, and here we find what is kind of the grotesque, to me, Alex, personally, sort of Americana white picket fence. Everyone has very manicured lawns. There's off in the distance a golf course, and there are various sort of elderly adventurers wandering around. No one you particularly recognize, but everyone seems to be fairly well off at this point. And somewhere in this community is your target, Nomdar the Barbarin. But you do not see him here.
Do we know what he looks like?
See, that's an interesting thing. You very much do know what he looks like. He has been the subject of a lot of movies in the last 2 years. Like, somehow, multiple movies in 1 year. There have been, like, novels. There's been a Broadway production. He is, like, one of the most famous adventurers. He's an elderly gnome at this point in his life. And he... thinning hair, a beard that looks kind of like one of those cartoons where someone's been electrified, so it's just like on end. And most famously, he has an extremely popular Saturday morning cartoon that somehow, despite documenting the life of an extremely mature themed individual, has proved very popular. In fact, there is a jingle for this tune that is in your heads right now.
Oh no.
Yeah. Nomda, 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 the barberin. Nomda, Nomda. He's the gnome with hideous strength. Nomda, Nomda. All the monsters he slays, but he can't spell his own name. Nomda, Nomda, beer liqueur, cocaine and wine. He is fucking trashed all of the time. Nomda, Nomda. Also, he once headbutted Bal in the nuts. Nomda, the barberin, greatest hero of all. Very popular with the children, this show.
With that swear word, is this before Watershed?
The Watershed is a lie.
Okay.
You're acting like time means anything in Molded.
That's true. Yeah, I
is
apologize.
very difficult to stop all the baby sharks from watching the show, but it's not a good role model.
He really isn't.
You know, honestly, I prefer it when Reginar comes to give his weekly talk where he tells all the little sharks about his life, and then they get a different bad role model. But you know, it's preferable.
I, at this point, turn to Misery and just be like, do you ever think we'll end up here, babe?
Well, I never pictured you in my life's plan, I must say, darling. I barely know who you are.
Playing coy. Well, I could see us here. A chair together, play a bit of chess, kick one of those zombies occasionally.
My man, are you quite well?
Oh, I don't live here. I'm fine. I'm part of the adventuring group here.
Okay.
This is my friend Larry the ladle.
That is a spoon.
No. Speak.
I'm not sure why I exist.
I don't know
you'll
if that's
get it.
any better,
You'll
actually.
get it.
I think it might be better if it were just a spoon. Well,
He's gonna
it
stay.
is. You are so memorable. I have certainly met you.
You know, that's the nicest thing anyone's ever said to me.
Shit.
Lavinia's gonna lean over and down towards Dream. He's go, maybe we should leave Reginar in the retirement community. I mean, he is getting up there. I'm a bit worried about him.
Yeah.
It's bad enough when he gets drunk in the shark convention, takes his socks off and puts them on his ears and then yells about how he's the Snuffleupagus.
Maybe we can just look around and see nice places.
Yeah, let's do that. And let's also try to not let him get killed by the level 20 lesbian.
At the other side, I've just opened a beer and I'm just downing it. Reginald's not.
Misery
doing well.
looks terrified.
Enjoy some?
Dream is just gonna shake her head. What's happened to our friend?
I'll look over at Slim and be like, do you drink?
So while all this kind of amazingly smooth social interaction has been happening. Slim has been like you've seen that actually. It's almost like kind of the opposite of a kind of loading on dial-up image. Much of their face is missing because you can see that their mass is elsewhere. They've got like tendrils of orange goo kind of into the. You say there are manicured lawns around here?
Yes.
Yeah, so just kind of going straight into the lawns and just kind of spreading out and trying to suss out the local environment, taste for pollutants or nutrients, or see if there's any like particular biodiversity in the area, try and say hello to any life forms, taste any.
I pour beer onto the soil.
I think that sounds like our first roll of the game. Make me a nature check, please.
Okay, I'm gonna put more of my biomass into it, so that's casting guidance.
Would you like guidance?
Oh yeah, I'll take the vineyard's guidance. Yes.
Okay, you double guidance.
IKEA blesses you, child. Tiffany has no idea what or who Slim is, and she's not gonna ask anymore.
The irony of IKEA blessing an ecosystem check is. Google it, folks.
Hey, it's a manicured lawn. IKEA approves of that one.
Very
Fair.
true.
That's gonna be a 25.
Okay, so with that, you have a perfect grasp of the ecosystem of this lawn, which is to say, there isn't one. There's the grass itself is a genetically engineered, perfect lawn, in air quotes, registered to Profit Core, which grows to precisely half an inch high. And is a uniform green. Beneath it, there are a few worms, which again, genetically engineered proprietary to Profit Core. Enough to aerate the soil, enough to keep the grass alive. But beyond that, this is sterile.
As Reginald pours beer on the soil, I guess it's the first thing of like real kind of stimulus that I sense in there. And so going from a feeling of profound sadness and almost mourning this ecosystem to being like, ooh, beer. And I soak it up from the soil where it was poured. I can extract myself from the soil, leave behind a few spores just for later. And you see my face kind of. Oh, thank you.
I choose to believe one of the eyes is just slightly off.
Swaying slightly.
Yeah.
Thank you, Reginald, for not repeating your past mistake of pouring it into my bowl. I appreciate that.
I'm learning. You see, I listen. It's a good quality amongst like eligible bachelors. And
we're all learning.
Well,
I was gonna say
Reginald,
we're
I
all
have
eligible
come.
bachelors, but I'm married, so that's not true anymore.
yeah, I wasn't talking to you.
Well, Reginald, I've come to this retirement community with the intent to shop around for a suitably moneyed suitor. So if you could prove that you're in that category, then I might be inclined to make a purchase.
Well, we're on our way to hopefully make quite a big investment. So, I mean, my old buddy Boomslang, he was like quite the ladies' man, quite the hoarder. He had this giant snake that
Dream is literally just looking off into the distance, not interested in the conversation at all.
that you placed coins into it and created this huge coiling, writhing mass.
Well, when you put it like that, maybe I could join your adventuring party, see what's at the end of this.
Yeah, I think it's worthwhile. Welcome aboard.
Perfect. Thank you.
You're probably sorely disappointed, but okay. Dream just says, and then just like walks on.
I'm gonna follow Dream. And realize getting the band back together would mean taking on new people.
I'm
That's
just here
okay,
to
we
help.
can- Yes, you won't leave even after we turned you down, which is
Who
a
turned them
bit
down?
strange.
Why did you turn them down?
Band doesn't exist anymore, Reginar.
I don't recall being inverted.
I mean, this is a like band decision. Like, he's here. He's part of the band. We need a lead singer.
I don't have a gender.
They're part of the band.
What you would describe as several dozen thousand genders.
They're all part
That's
of the
pretty
band.
cool. Okay, come on, Reginar. Let's go find Boomslang's friend and see what he left for us.
Yeah, he's gonna be a major disappointment.
Probably. But you know, we're doing this for him, and Dream and I are also doing this for you because, frankly,
Don't
you
patronize me.
worry us.
I'm fine. It was one time. One time. It won't happen again.
If you have no expectations, you can't be disappointed.
See?
I'm not sure how true that
disappointed
is.
in you. I'm just a little concerned. You know, you've not been your usual cheerful self.
I crack a second beer. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Oh dear gods. Right. Let's. I can always ask for some divine intervention if we need it.
I don't want any
Right.
help from IKEA.
You don't need to have help from IKEA.
Put the Allen key away.
My wife can give you help from the god of the sharks. It's fine. Look, let's just.
God of the shark. That's a weird one.
It's melded. What do you expect? Our best man was a
Something better
wolf
than sharks.
in sheep's clothing.
Well, that's on her.
The sewer clowns were there. I mean, what do you expect from us?
Yeah, I didn't get an invite, but the clowns were there. Great.
You did get an invite. When I went to your house to see why you didn't show up, you pinned it to the wall and you were throwing beer cans at it.
Oh, yeah. Well, anyway, welcome aboard. What was your name?
Misery.
No, no, darling, I know what your name is. I'm talking to the goldfish bowl.
I'm not a fish. My name's Slim.
Oh,
Hello! And like a bunch of tendrils of slime mold are kind of waving in place of a hand.
I'll get used to that.
I still don't know what you are, but you're oddly enticing.
It's hard to tell whether I'm a communal organism, a multicellular organism, or a unicellular organism.
Could be all three. Who knows?
Meant like queer sense, but sure, that too.
Misery just takes out some hand sanitizer, just putting that on.
I was hold out a hand.
She reluctantly squeezes and then looks at him up and down and squeezes a little bit more.
What an insult.
I think there's maybe a small drop that lands on the ground, and Slim sends out a tendril to kind of investigate it, sniff it, and taste it. And as soon as it touches the kind of high concentration alcohol in the gel, kind of goes.
Oh, it's
Well, the
fine.
feeling's
It's-
mutual, darling.
there's nothing wrong with drinking that.
With
Okay.
drinking hand sanitizer.
Yeah. No, I'm fine.
I
will
don't
at this
have a
point
liver.
point out that this entire intriguing interaction is being watched by a man poking his, just like looking over the top of his like wooden fence, just sort of with his sort of brows furrowed, trying to make out what's.
Hello, your lawn is empty.
Oh, don't speak to the NIMBYs.
What's a NIMBY?
Oh, it's like babysitting the baby sharks. Where's Dream gone?
Dream is gone.
Dream
Just walked up. Like, she doesn't want to be dealing with this nonsense. Like, she's like, look, she's got
Right.
a mission. she's going to stick to it, then she's going to go off and multiverse hop again. That's what she's been doing in the past year. She's been doing universes.
Nice.
Seeing the dream is nowhere in sight, Lavinia's just gonna do like the awkward wave at the man looking over his fence, take out her shield, and use the shield to sort of scoop up, like shield in one arm, and her arm in the other to sort of scoop the other three up and start hurling them in the direction of things dream's gone.
As we're being herded away, I'm gonna cast plant growth on that guy's lawn.
As you do that and it grows, I'm going to cast Speak with Plants on it and go, fuck shit up.
So, I'm just going to check exactly the mechanics of
The plant growth
So
is
what-
if I just use an action to do it, which I would be doing now. All normal plants. Well, I guess I don't know how normal these plants are.
Yeah, that's the kind of
In a
caveats I wanted
100-foot
to know about.
radius, become thick and overgrown, and it becomes difficult terrain where it uses 4 times movement rather than twice.
Okay, so
And I can exclude
grass
any
being
areas
genetic-
that I want within the area. So I'm just going to do that one guy's lawn.
just the lawn. There are also hedges here.
Oh, the hedges too. Yeah.
Okay, so the lawn, being like very sterile and genetically engineered, it just basically grows to precisely 1 inch instead of half an inch, because it's so. The hedge, like, seems to be of a more natural sort, albeit a sort of highly cultivated one, and that does begin to spread out. And the guy's like, "Hey, that's a neat trick there." It's like I came here and I was hoping to use my power tools all day, but these plants don't grow properly. And he just sort of, he has a hedge trimmer, but the blade is like glowing in like purple flame. Hank Shadowblade, at your service. I haven't seen you lot around here before. He's turning English and he started somewhere else.
Well, I have cast Speak with Plants on that hedge.
Yeah.
And be like, that man's going to kill you. Would you like us to do something about it?
I want to die.
Oh wow!
There's nothing in the soil.
Yeah,
I
you, and me,
wither.
you and me both, buddy. So you really don't want me to do anything about this?
Let me die. Please let me die. Oh, I notice you're talking to my hedge.
Yeah, this hedge is begging for death. What have you done to it?
I haven't done anything to it. I moved in last week, and I wanted to do some gardening when I moved here. Just nothing grows.
It's really sad.
Are we doing science facts?
You
Yes.
can do.
Yeah.
Sweet. So in plants, there's a gene that is a negative regulator of growth. So that means it basically inhibits how big plants can get. And this gene is called Big Brother, or BB. So maybe the limiting factor is an overexpression of Big Brother in these plants. And as we know from the book, that can definitely lead to depression as well. So maybe that's why this plant is so small and morose.
Yes.
Oh my god, it's like the weird little AstroTurf lawn in the garden on Big Brother.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh.
That
Oh my
must be it.
god!
As Hank Shadowblade, starts saying, "Oh, I've just moved here last week." Like, Slim's gonna say, "Oh, have you met?" And then, because I have keen mind, so I can recall the theme song perfectly. I don't have great performance though, so I can kind of play it, but it kind of sounds like it's being played out of a phone in a cup. So I say, "We're looking for," and then the theme tune just comes out.
Yeah.
Misery uses thaumaturgy to make it sound to kind of like, okay, so it's louder, but maybe if it's in that cup, it's got a bit more bass, like the sound is a bit like, tastier.
So, just to resolve this scene quickly, Hank says, "Well, I heard he lives here, but I think he must be in sort of one of the sort of more deluxe layers of this place. Well, I've not seen anyone that famous around here." And he's just sort of just goes on. The theme tune is now in his head.
For the rest of the adventure, just assume that I'm quietly playing it in the background.
Yeah. If we give us money, we'll make Dagmar perform a version of this and record it.
No.
And just before we go, Hank, would you describe yourself as a deluxe man?
I mean, I am very wealthy. If that's...
Noted.
Puffing my chest out behind.
I like to think Misery's got a clipboard.
Yeah. Just like, could you fill in this survey? What is your net
If
worth?
my wife stole all my money, would I take her to court? No. Oh, perfect.
Any
Do I
family
believe in
history of-
prenups?
Yes, sudden death.
Have I ever joined a cult previously? And would I be willing to join again?
Yes.
Oh my god.
So,
we head off in search of the more deluxe
yes.
apartments.
Hell yeah.
Across the
I mean,
golf
Probably
course.
trailing behind Lavinia and Dream.
We'll switch to whatever Lavinia and Dream are doing at this precise moment.
I don't know, Dream's ahead of me, so
Yep.
I'm catching up.
She has a little book with her, little kind of like a journal, and she's actually kind of like flipping through it. So this is kind of like basically like a expedition journal, basically. And she's like turns to a new page and starts writing in it and describing this section of Melda that she's not been in before. And it just starts off with this place smells like old people. I don't like it because it reminds me of my family. I left. I just want to leave this place. I don't want to be here. And then she actually scribbles it out. It's like, no, it's just like, that's too emotional. It's like, no one needs to know that. So she's just kind of like in her own little world, but just describing her environment and whatnot. Because basically, like, she has become basically like a kind of explorer, I guess, just of different universes. And kind of like that. She joined one cult back in the day that was an academic cult. So look, she's actually pretty good at writing.
She got a grant.
It was just a man called Grant.
It was like it was only a small grant. It didn't go very well. I do think academia is a cult. Just so you know. That's why I left it. Anyway, side note. Yeah, so Dream is just she's not even really like looking or anything like that in terms of like looking for the deluxe area. I mean, like she left before that conversation even happened. So she's just kind of just wandering around and looking up, making notes, looking down about scribbling in it again.
Okay.
Once I catch up to Dream, I just see, you know, okay, she's fine. I look back. There's no like explosions or massive plumes of smoke or anything coming from where I left the other three. Just right, okay. I know this man we're looking for because I've been listening to that bloody song every single day since we started the Shark Finish. I'm gonna try to cast Locate Creature to see if I can get a beat on him.
Okay.
So if he's within 1,000 feet, I will know.
Let me just double check on. I have a feeling there was a caveat to this.
Probably. Lavinia just wants to get this over with.
Yeah, imagine if we just
Okay,
solved this
so-
within like half an hour. It'd be amazing.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay.
That's how D&D works, right?
The problem when you look to be level 15.
Yeah, this is. Okay, that's Okay, I think yeah. So you get the sense that he is. You're getting a sort of weird vibe because he is within that distance, but also he isn't. It's like you get a sort of like kind of yes, but with kind of a weird kind of static feedback loop.
The message has been sent to the server but not received. You haven't got the blue ticks yet.
Shit. This is gonna be some weird multiverse shit, isn't it? Fuck. Need to get all the swears out now before I'm back around the baby sharks.
I imagine at this point we've caught up with you. Are you passing this over?
He's somewhere around here, but he's also not.
Oh. Like someone else
It's
I know.
probably because all these buildings keep moving. What's up with that?
Question
Right.
for the DM is: Do we know about Sigil?
I would think so.
Dream doesn't. Dream hasn't.
What
been.
is that? Neither does Misery.
Okay. so-
At the start of the session, Alex's monologue mentioned a twin city.
yeah.
Ah.
So if you've heard of the Planescape setting, that's where a lot of that takes place. It's like similar to Melded in that it is like a city that it's the city of doors, which connects to all other cities in the multiverse by various sort of weird little doors. But it's a lot less. I mean, it is trashy, but not in the kind of way that Melded is.
So, like, if Sigil is like a confluence of several rivers,
Yeah,
melded is the U bend of the drain.
yeah, it's
Oh, yeah.
yeah, it's that
It's not
bit
so
where they-
like.
I mean, yes. Well, I was gonna. Yeah, they just like haven't cleaned out the sewage system in a while, and it's got backed up
It's
due to a
full
fatberg.
of endangered sewer clowns. You
And
can't just,
fatbergs.
Yeah.
you can't just keep fumigating.
Sorry,
Yeah.
Misery, you
Yeah.
were going to say something.
Right, I was going to say, right, I can take a look higher up, if that would help. Maybe get a bird's eye view on everything.
Everything good's down here.
Thank you, Regina. And she gets on the broom and just says, right, off you go. And it levitates directly in the air. Let's say, well, what is the fly? I think I've got a flying speed of 50 feet.
Okay, that's
I
fine.
want to go above the building so I can try and get a bird's eye view to see if I can see any more deluxe buildings in the vicinity.
Okay, so make me a perception check just to see like how good a look you. Yeah.
Okie dokie. Ooh, 6.
Okay, so you even with a 6, like you can see that if you continue down this road, the buildings do seem to get more fancy. There's a bit more sort of ostentation, like a bit more of that kind of like, you know, the house in the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, like that kind of like a bit that kind of like, it's gauche, but it's more affluent gauche. Can you also, and I'll get to the third point in a minute, make me a wisdom saving throw?
Sure thing. 8.
Okay, so there is to your left the golf course, but you can't actually look at it. There's something wrong about the golf course.
But that's where all the most wealthy suitors might be.
There's just something. I mean,
Is there anti-gold digger protection?
there's just something that you can't bring yourself to look at. However, the third thing you notice, even on that admittedly low roll, is beyond even the pillared houses. There is a gleaming silvery dome.
Noted. I descend, but I stay on the broom because now that I've seen a nicer place, I don't want my feet to touch this place again. I just tell the group, right, well, dead ahead, there's quite a charming little banlieue ahead of us. The golf course, however, may be haunted or cursed, which is a shame. But
All of them are.
beyond the luxury apartments, well, I think there's something even more spectacular. Definitely worth taking a look if our hero isn't in the middle state of housing.
Oh, I'll keep concentrating on my spell. Just if he is nearby, and the night we get closer in the next 10 minutes, I'll know. But sure. Shall we carry on?
Are we going to the
Let's.
rich houses or are we going to the unknowable golf course?
Rich houses. Misery would like to go to the rich houses.
Let's go to the rich houses then.
We can go and destroy the golf course later.
Oh, bless it. And you just see like spores wafting up out of my finger holes.
That's what I meant.
Agreed.
So, as you head on down this big fence, the buildings do begin to become larger, and you see there is just a point where there is just a sign painted like a circle of gold to indicate that you are now passing into the gold package area. And make me just a insight check.
Whomst?
Everyone.
Oh, 15.
17.
26.
14.
6.
So, Dream really does not want to be here, and thus has kind of isolated, just like, I'm not paying attention to.
Right in the book, just the book's in the face.
Yeah.
Scribble away.
All of the rest of you notice that the adventurers around here seem to be different. While the ones in the silver area were quite sort of like personable, and they were sort of waving in a sort of slightly passive aggressive way, or just it was like, who are these?
Hello.
But they were very like alert. These ones are just a little dazed, a little slack-jawed, as if there's just not entirely there.
Hello. Hello.
I'm just gonna check something real quick. I'd like to approach one of them, and can I make a surreptitious medicine check?
Okay.
Can I help?
You can.
Okay, like I think a bunch of like very, very fine tendrils run across the ground, and like up the side of the porch or whatever, and like just leap over to where your fingers like are touching this person or however you're interacting with them.
I'm just gonna like put one hand on their wrist and like try to take their pulse basically and feel their temperature at the same time and like look in their eyes to see if they look like
Yeah,
they
so
might
you
be
feel like a kind of viscous,
Yeah.
gloopy, like kind of coating of slime mold around your fingers as it kind of enhances your sensations.
So is it
and some of
medicine
it
check?
go like around their finger as like a little cup to measure oxygen.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like you get like a blood pressure band, and it starts to go.
Here's a fun fact for you: if you ever need to get your if you have an oxygen posimeter on your finger, if you're wearing nail polish, it won't work because it ends up covering up the cuticle. So the fusion doesn't happen as well. There we go.
Nice.
Nerd dice, please.
Yes, you can have a nerd dice. Which
What dice are we using for that,
For the
Alex?
purposes of this game, I was going to say a nerd dice will just be a roll at advantage.
Perfect. Well, I've already got advantage on
I'll
this one
guide.
if I'm being helped.
I'll
but
guide
then
them.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
you're
that
saving. Are you saving the advantage? Okay.
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
I'll save the advantage. Yeah.
Great. Yeah, I'll help you now.
Okay. So, do you sort of look for any particular sort of person?
Just someone who looks like they're not gonna try to get in a fight with me if I do this.
So you spot a guy who looks like he's probably some kind of like he's an old, like everyone here is old to varying degrees. This guy, he's quite slender. It's like, hi.
Hi. I'm so sorry to interrupt you. I rolled a 24. I was just wondering if there was anything you could tell us. So, my friend over there, and I'm gonna just like point at Reginar.
I'm climbing into my mech suit.
For viewers who
He's,
might not be aware of the mech suit, what?
So
For Khalils who forgotten about the mech suit, like the rest of us.
Reginar has a Jefferson Tech mech suit, which he commissioned from a manatee. No, was it manatee? It was a manatee.
Yeah,
who
manatee.
we met in the very first episode of that first campaign.
What does the mech suit look like?
It's worth watching if you've never seen it before. Just
So
saying.
it's if you've seen the movie Alien, it's like the mech suits,
power
and
loader,
that,
yeah.
the power loaders and that. But it also gives me some magical abilities. I'm like, this is weird, so I'm loading myself in.
We're just we're looking to see if this might be a nice place for him to retire, and I was just wondering what you could tell us, what it's like living here. While I'm like actively taking their temperature and like drawing a blood sample,
Shining a torch in their eye.
blood tests,
Yeah.
gas chromatogram happening in the background.
So this guy sort of blinks at you slowly. It's like, my name's Doug Maelstrom. I was a hero.
Good job, Doug.
Misery
He
goes,
smiled.
excellent, Doug, and is writing her notebook. And are you rich?
I got dragon money.
Dragon money, okay.
We've all fought simply red dragons. Well, Doug, do you like it here?
I live here.
This place
That's-
is strange.
I don't like it here. Goodbye, Doug. Did my medicine checks give me anything?
So yes. So what you are detecting with your what was your total there again?
24.
Okay. So there is not a great deal physically wrong with him in his body. What you think has happened is that he has suffered some intense psychic trauma. That probably relatively recently. It doesn't appear to have a physical basis. And as he's sort of like looking at you, it's just like, you should go talk to human resources. They should tell you.
Where are they?
They're in the food hall, but upstairs.
Food hall, but upstairs. Thank you so much. I've already forgotten your name.
My name's Doug.
Okay.
Doug Maelstrom. Thank you, Doug. Get home safe.
This is my home.
Oh dear God. Okay. Right.
I'm not staying here.
No, none of us are staying here, and I think Misery, did you say the golf course was unknowable?
Well, I don't know it at all. And I know everybody, so I would say so, yes.
Okay. I feel
That's
like
fine.
it might be evil. More evil than most. Do we want to go talk to human resources?
What did they say it was back through the...
So human
Food
resources is
hall,
ahead
but
of
upstairs.
Yeah, it's basically there's like a sort of community like food hall kind of situation, and then that's the sort of where the admin building is as well.
Human resources might know gnome resources, and gnome resources might include Nomdar,
It's a
the
good point.
Barbarin, and I play the theme tune.
Oh.
Amazing.
Can I make
Lavinia's
a
resistant
wisdom saving
urge
throw
to
to see
slash
like?
Slim's skull with the elk mallet.
Can I make a wisdom saving throw upon hearing that again? Like
You can.
I rolled a 9 for a 10.
So it's in your head now.
Seeing that happen,
Reginald. Oh, sorry,
gonna-
go.
I'm just going to cast resistance on Reginar. So next time he has to make a save, it's plus 1d4.
Nice.
What does that
Within
feel
the
like?
next minute, but yes.
A small tendril kind of up your leg, up your and it gets like up here and then kind of and then unplugs from your nose, leaving behind a small amount of slime mold.
Oh. I've experienced a lot, but I've never experienced that. I'm not sure how I feel about it.
It'll keep you safe.
Thanks, Slim.
Misery
Thanks.
looks at Slim and turns to the back of her notebook and writes something and just closes it. Right, Reginald, if we're going to a more communal area, would you mind dusting the silver dust off my shoes? I don't want these gold dust people to get confused.
Oh. Well, I've got into my suit now. I'm like 6 feet off the ground.
I raise up on the broom.
Oh. Of course. And I
Do
will
we
cast.
have an all spellcast? Okay, good.
I will
Yeah.
cast.
Yes, you are
Presti-
all spells. Oh, except Dream now is not as a former spellcaster.
I will cast Prestidigitation.
Glorious. And Misery turns back to the front of her notebook, and on each page there's a checklist on every page, and you can see lots of them have like items crossed out. And she opens to a new page and writes Reginald at the top, and the top point just says subservient, and she does a big click next to it. It says excellent.
Can I try and stealthily take a peek?
You can try.
I guess, yeah, make a stealth check against Misery's passive perception.
Oh, I love this.
That's a natural one.
Aw. You
It's
failed.
literally just
Oh,
like-
I got 11. She holds the book very close to her chest.
I also have a pet Triceratops. If you can add that to the list.
I'm not writing that down.
Oh well, he's a very good boy.
At the bottom, she just writes, talks a lot.
Right. Human resources?
So ahead of you, you see a building which is just labelled in neon letters cafe. Nona's cafe. As you get closer, you realise.
Well, Larry, we're going home.
What is Larry?
The ladle. The ladle.
That got me.
I don't know what home is.
We're going to show you it. Like, it's all about finding a place and finding a home and finding a family. Like I found all of these people here.
It's just like when he got his pet rock. And that hatched to do a Triceratops.
Flashback to the first time I could do animate objects. I'm just having like an in-depth conversation with a rock.
Nice.
What does it feel like to just sit around all day?
Dream, you've been in a lot of cults.
Unfortunately, yes.
Does that mean you've got a lot of experience dealing with human resources? Or tabaxi resources?
Unfortunately, yes.
Do you want to take the lead on this?
All right. And she just like closes the book.
We'll be there to back you up, but I feel like if anyone's going to be doing the talking, it probably shouldn't be me or Slim or
Hello.
Misery or Reginar.
Okay, let's go. Let's get
Probably
this
you.
over with.
You're the most sane person here.
There you go.
I mean, that's relative, but okay, sure. She puts the book,
Very
attached the book
relative.
to a to a bell and then leads the way.
So, as you see, you have to go through the cafe of this place to get to the upstairs. You are greeted at the door by this most stereotypical, like, elderly Italian woman you can conceive of in your mind's eye. She's just like sort of ruddy-cheeked, wearing one of those little wrap things on her head. Whatever other stereotypes of Italian grandmas are, I don't know enough off the top of my head.
Plate of meatballs in one hand.
Yes.
She pinches your cheek.
Well, welcome to Nona's.
Dream just kind of like shivers.
You notice that there seem to be several identical women around the room.
Dream shivers
No.
again.
Can I ping detect magic, please?
Okay. No magic here.
Can I look at the sign for Nonnas? Is there an apostrophe?
There is no apostrophe, but
Damn
it
it.
is capitalized weirdly. It's N, lowercase o, capital N, capital A.
And what's the S saying?
Is the S lowercase or uppercase?
Lowercase.
No.
Intriguing.
Alls.
Doesn't
mean anything to me.
How can I help you? Would you like some spaghetti?
No, thank you.
Linguine?
He's here.
Lasagna?
Are we on the ground floor? We're in the cafe, yeah?
Yes.
It's like, yes, excuse me. How do we get an appointment with human resources at short notice?
Oh, you can go up and speak to them.
Cool, great. Well, let's go. Dream just tries to get out there as quick as possible because she.
Everyone make me a perception check as you walk through the cafe.
Oh boy.
I was going to say I was going to specifically look for something of interesting flavor as well.
I would like to take a plate of spaghetti with me, but I did roll 7 on the perception check.
Perception. That's going to be a 23.
21.
13.
Natural one again.
So that was who was it? So it was Regina and Dream who rolled bad. Or,
No, I got
Lavinia.
21.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, got my wires mixed. So Regina and Lavinia, it's like this food looks beautiful. It's like the perfect shade of color. Like it just looks so appetizing. The other three of you notice something unsettling though, in that you know how you've seen those videos where things are suddenly cake.
Yes.
This is kind of like that, but instead of like cake, it was secretly you cut into it and it was like monochrome hummus.
Alex, I have a question about what color you think hummus usually is.
Like when I say monochrome, like as if it's like black and white. There is no color.
Okay.
Duochrome.
You're getting multicolored hummus. You're getting in Kettering.
Yeah. No. As in,
One
yeah,
bit hummus.
It is utterly grey in the purest sense of the word.
Can Dream just be like, don't eat that, don't touch it.
I was gonna test it for poisons. Now you're making me say that out loud.
I've got a plate in one hand and tendrils kind of this close to touching it, just kind of. And
Slip.
I pause.
Natural
it.
one. I'm eating it.
Oh.
I'm gonna wiggle a tendril over and cast Purify Food and Drink.
Now, interestingly, so Regina eats this as it gets purified, sort of mid ladling.
Oh no, Larry.
You've gone through the bases real quick with Larry, Sam.
Yeah,
I mean,
Larry is inside you.
Oh no.
So,
Oh no.
there doesn't actually appear to be anything wrong with this paste. It doesn't taste of anything, and it, as far as well, with some of those absurdly high perception checks, like it actually does seem to provide like all the nutrients that are required to keep someone alive and broadly healthy. But it is grey slurry.
Oh, do you remember when we got like that year's supply of protein cubes? Which are still in my inventory.
They do thankfully have a sell-by date of 100 years.
Thankfully.
Oh, well, they taste similar to that.
They taste worse than the protein
It
cubes.
tastes worse
Do they
than
taste
that.
like the? I'm gonna take out some protein cubes myself because I also still have some. Then I'm gonna take out the dusty hairball, which I also have.
Yeah.
I'm guessing it's more like the hairball.
Don't know. You should try it and see.
Yeah.
Is Slim?
I put one finger in the slurry and one finger in the hairball.
The hairball is tastier.
At least the hairball has some variety to it.
There's
I'm a
like-
very curious being,
Yes,
and there's
you are.
very little to find of interest in that slurry.
Is it like the lawn?
Yes, you, insofar as it does appear to be some kind of like genetically modified. No, in fact, not even genetically modified. The
It's kind of
paste itself
synthesized.
yes. And it's at this point you sort of notice at the bottom of one of the menu again with those absurd Nona, the non-threatening nourishment AI, which reproduces meals based on images it found on the internet out of this grey paste. Everything is just kind of, the color is just kind of sprayed on the outside.
This is nutritionally and aesthetically bankrupt.
This is, and they're feeding this to all of these old adventurers. This is. And you were going to try and offload me here.
No, I was lying, Reginar. I would never
I
do
just
that
walk
to
out.
you. I'm gonna pick him up.
Do you walk out or do you walk upstairs?
No, I walk out.
I'm
In
gonna
your
try
mech
to
suit.
intercept and pick him, like, stop him.
Dream kind of just waits at the bottom of the stairs and just grumpily
Slim is-
waits.
Slim is standing next to Dream, but like holding a plate of this fake food slurry that hasn't been dug into. So kind of just holding a plate that looks pristine.
Misery appears next to you and says, I was really hoping for some fine cuisine, but this is nothing like a nonna's meal that I've eaten before, and trust me, I've eaten many.
Nonnas?
Well, mamas maybe, but never the nonnas. Sorry.
Let's cut to Reginar and
That's
Lavinia.
okay.
Wrestling.
What do we need to do?
I was going for a grapple check, which is usually opposed to athletics.
Okay. $18.
17. I will cast Hold Person instead.
And, like,
Are you fighting?
I'm just trying to get towards the door. I'm not leaving. I'm just going towards the door. Let me-
Reginar, you need to look. I know that
No.
that Boomslang was your best friend.
Don't bring him up.
He was my
No,
friend
no,
too.
keep that name out of your mouth. I've
I
been looking
will
for him for
not.
2 years, and all you did was fuck off and get married and just leave him behind. And now we're going to just go and take all of his stuff, and instead we're having to deal. Look at all of these poor elderly adventurers having to deal with that shit on a plate. So let me get to the door.
What are you doing about it? Are you're just gonna storm off and have a hissy fit and
No,
storm
let
off?
me get to the door. want to do something about it.
Well, so are we, Regina. And frankly, the way that I know that you're upset about Boomslang leaving, and no, I will not keep his name out of my mouth because he was my friend too, and he was Dream's friend. He was all of our friends. He might have been your best friend, but he went off to do something that he loved, an unknowable eldritch being. And in all the time that I've known him, and I think all the time that you knew him, we all knew that was his goal. And if you can't accept that that's what he wanted, then that's just incredibly selfish of you. We haven't abandoned him. We've let him go on to live his dream. And Dream's gone off to live theirs, and I've got mine. And if your dream is to drink yourself to death and fight elderly people or something, I don't know what it is. I'll support you in that.
I'm not here to fight the elderly people. I'm going to try and help them. Just let me get to the fucking door.
Well, why didn't you come and help us by talking to bloody HR and figuring out what the hell's going on here?
Because HR are the fucking enemy. You don't speak to them.
Yeah, no! Do you really think I mean speak? When have we ever gone to speak to someone? It's just been speaking. It hasn't involved violence.
I'm just going to try and walk to the door.
I'm casting Hold Person.
Okay, what do I need to roll?
Wisdom saving throw.
Remember, you still have resistance because there's still a little bit of slime up in your nostril.
Wisdom save. That is 18 on the die for 19.
Yeah, that's I saved DC 17. So.
I kick the door open and then cast Magnificent Mansion outside.
Misery's jaw drops.
Is that good time to go to break?
Across the sign of it, you just see Reginonas.
Oh, hell yeah.
I
Just
do
to
have
be
a moment
petty.
in mind. Just very shortly on, I have a moment
you're the
for break,
DM.
so we'll
Go,
continue
yeah.
for now.
You know what? I'm gonna walk back over to Dream. I'll look at Misery and Slim and go, I am really not sure why you two are here. Dream, if Reginald there's just no talking to him, is there? Selfish little prick. Let's go talk to HR.
So you sort of head up the stairs and arrive in just what is sort of a well-lit little office. There's two young women at their desks, sort of type away on computers, answering phones. One is an elf with sort of dark brown hair and glasses, and she has a lot of pictures of kittens around her desk. The other is sort of seems to be a bit more fashionable, sort of very enthusiastic in her voice. And could you all make me a intelligence saving throw?
Dear God, probably not.
8.
16.
Not 19 for an 18. Wow.
Okay, so what was yours again, Clue?
16.
So, two, and Dream, was Dream there? Yep. Did you say a number? Oh, sorry.
12.
12. Okay, to Dream and to Slim and to Misery, this is an office. This seems perfect. To Lavinia, there is something off here. And it's sort of like you're in a haze. And as you sort of like push against it with your mind, the two young women aren't young women in the sense that they appeared. They look. It's like you feel the pain as you're sort of pushing through this sort of psychic wall. These fucking mind flayers. And that's where we shall go to break.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
And we're back. Alex. Mind flayers.
Yes.
HR.
So, previously, before the break, 10 minutes ago, we were witnessing, or more to say, 3 of the party were witnessing a very sort of nice office scene. One of them is making, in the case of Reginald, making a soup kitchen outside, and Lavinia has seen through the illusion and is witnessing that this is in fact a mind flayer den with HR. They are still working at computers, and there are still photos of cute cats on the desk.
Is one of them still quite fashionable?
Yes, she has got some like amazing like beak polish, but
Great.
Misery. Oh, sorry. Continue.
I was going to say, so the one with the glasses, just hi, my name is Jenny. I'm HR here at Elysium Hills. You all hear that. Lavinia hears the same, but Janoka Deluc.
Sick. Misery just kind of like half perches on the desk and leans in closer. Oh, Jenny, darling, I'm a beloved companion of Nomdar the Barbarin. And I was just wondering if you could tell me where I might find him.
And Dream is just looking at Misery like, I thought I was supposed to be doing this, but all right, just go ahead.
I start playing the theme tune in the background.
Mr. Nomdar, yes. He's one of our Platinum Club members. So you would have to get access to the Platinum area to meet with him.
As chill goes through Misery's body. Well, darling, I think I qualify, don't you?
We literally just work in HR, and interestingly, Lavinia hears that exact same thing. They're just like, so you would have to go and speak to the gentleman who mans the gates there. He's a lovely fellow, Demetrius. But you would have to go through the security there, and then you would have access. I'm sure.
Right.
We have to say we were great fans of you. I don't know who you are, to be honest, but it's like you're Lavinia and Dream. Oh my god, that was such an amazing performance. Like, oh my god, I've got all your albums. This is
Misery
not
just
an illusion.
walks away.
They
She's
genuinely-
walking out the building.
You walk straight into a soup kitchen.
Yes.
Oh, do you want to come in? I'm making chicken.
Opens her notebook, cooks. Tick.
Well, I say that I'm cooking, but they're cooking. And inside there's just like a whole bunch of nonnas that are cooking gorgeous food.
Resourceful.
Which
The
is
other one is
also
like-
fake as soon as you bring it out of the building, but we'll get to that later.
The other one is like, so my name is Kimmy. Oh, could we get a selfie with you? And you hear Kimmy Lord Dratrick.
Lavinia has like lost the battle of self-control to keep her face straight, and she's like, is everyone who runs Elysium Hills like you?
Dream looks confused,
Like
like
us?
what? And Dream just looks at Lavinia confused, like, what? Like crazy
no,
fan?
okay, look,
What do you mean, like you?
Yeah, Dream's like, are you trying
I'll
to
take-
spot them? They look fine.
I will take the selfie with you, but you have to drop this, okay?
And Dream just
Oh,
looks really more confused.
I mean, there's a few of us who work here. Like, you see the like. There's a lot of prejudice against mind flayers. Like,
Dream just like, what?
like we do have.
Wait, how did you guys not see it? I thought I was the dumb one.
Like, oh yeah, it's like really hard to get a job when you're a mind flayer. Like, people are just like, oh, you're gonna eat my brain. It's like I get like
Okay,
like
but
artificial
hear me out.
brains. They're quite the vegetarian brains are quite good these days.
Jenny, Kitty, I just question though, because I understand people think mind flayers are monsters, and frankly, release of Baldur's Gate 3 has not helped you in that at all. I mean, the Emperor just catfishes you. But
Representation matters.
why, if you can do this amazing magic, and clearly people smarter than me can't look through it, I'm not sure how I did, why would you go and work for HR of all places? I mean, we all know HR's the enemy.
I mean, like, to be honest, like having the ability to sort of detect people's emotions is like it's a boon in this role. We can sort of.
Oh, so you're using what you're good at to help oppress people?
Oh no, we tried to sort of. I mean, obviously, like as with any employer, we're sort of bound by the limits of like what the company. But we try to do as well by people as we can. You can make an insight check on that if you like.
I would like to make an insight check on this.
Is this Khalil
21.
raising a hand or Slim raising little wiggly bits, or both?
Yes.
Would you
But
also like
I
to
can
make
go
an
after the
insight
insight check.
Okay. 21.
They certainly seem to think that's what they're doing. Like, whether your particular opinions on HR, they're like, well, I have psychic powers. I'm gonna try to.
You know what would be a really good use of your ability to sense others' emotions? Helping people who don't understand their emotions themselves. I've got a couple of vacancies at the Sharkfinage.
Oh, I mean,
You'll need to pass a rigorous background check, which includes single combat.
I mean, that's standard in Melded. That's nothing to worry about.
Not the way I run it. There's
I
a
mean-
rap battle. It's a whole thing. Anyways, you should apply because I don't think if people found out there were mind flayers working in HR, it wouldn't help your image.
I mean,
Helping
that's why we have
orphans.
the glamour up. It just
But you
puts
can have
people
the
more
glamour
ease.
up elsewhere and get a job somewhere else that'll actually, do real good things. Sorry, Slim, I see you waving at us inside your
No, you
fishbowl.
don't. So while this celebrity is distracting this HR mind flayer lady, I would like to. So, science fact: you can make a computer out of a slime mold. You can like trace out little channels for it to go and provide little kind of like food bits here and there and things like that. And basically, you can give the slime mold decisions to make, and it will make decisions and based on rewards and routes and stuff. Like, for example, you can use it to model kind of optimum flow for transport systems and plumbing systems and things like that, because it's kind of it's basically one cell but lots of cells all stuck together with kind of doors in between, so it forms this network that flows optimally between where it is, where it's going, and how it makes decisions between where to go as a colony. So I'll take my science dice, and I would like to try and interface with this person's computer.
Okay.
So I'd like to just and get a tendril right into the. I'm not a computer guy. Mainframe.
That's good enough.
No.
Into the tubes.
This Trojan swordfish. The
Yes, surprisingly. Yeah.
I'm trying to think what kind of check that would be.
I could do Arcana.
Yeah, let's go
Or,
Arcana. That's computers are arcane.
Investigation.
Which one of those two of your choice?
Okay, I'll do investigation. I'm better at that.
Drew's taking a book back out by this point and just back to writing. Because he's like, well, I was going to be useful, but now I'm not, so I'm just going to go back to writing then.
Dirty 20.
Okay.
Nice.
And what are you trying to find here?
I'm trying to find if there's a way to grant us access to the platinum zone, if there is information regarding access to the platinum zone, or if there's records regarding like why all those people out there are all kind of zoned out.
Okay, so that was. Did you say that was a 20?
Yes.
So I think on that roll, you find in the immediate files that Kimmy and Jenny have access to, you find the answer to the question regarding access to the Platinum Zone. Did Misery mention the Silvery Dome? Yes.
Well, vaguely. I
Yeah.
said there was some that looked even fancier.
Okay, so
Yes.
the Platinum area is enclosed in a mithril glass dome, which contains is a sort of extremely resistant to any kind of magical or non-magical damage, and secondly is surrounded by a 30-foot perimeter of anti-magic. This is like a high security exclusive area. There is one entrance, which is manned by someone called Demetrius Washington. Apparently he doesn't really sleep somehow. It's quite interesting. But you were expected to surrender all magic, weapons, and spell components at the door and put in a security safe while visiting the Platinum Zone. You are able, with that investigation check, to sort of add yourself to the list of sort of expected visitors to that place.
Sweet. I have keen mind, so I record all of that information.
Yes.
My character does, player
Yes.
doesn't, so I might
Yes.
ask you some of that later.
You, Khalil? I'm shocked. In regards to, there was a second question there. What was it? Yes. What is going on with the people in the? So you have to dig into the mainframe, the proper network itself. This is not stuff that Kimmy or Jenny have access to. Into
Right down into Kernel 32.
yeah, and into sort of the main profit core business model. So you find some.
It's like Jurassic Park, you know, when they're kind of like going through that kind of that interface. No, the interface where it's like all the little like rectangles, and they're kind of like having to scroll through them one at a time.
Yeah. And you find a sort of financial report on how Elysium Hills actually works. So, there are 3 zones, as you know. People in the Silver Zone have literally just paid money to be here. Like, it is it's a fairly traditional area. Rich adventurers who, often ones who aren't very famous but have like stumbled into wealth, like they've just found like a giant like treasure chest or something somewhere. Those guys the ones in the Gold Zone are a slightly more interesting proposition. They are ones who are somewhat famous and have had their memories extracted by spells, and those are used to produce sort of mid-tier intellectual property. So the memories of their sort of most thrilling moments are often taken away and maybe made into like a novel or a moderately popular television series. Like a few of them that like picked off. There's one called Min-Max the Broken, who has been a bit of a breakout star recently, and who's got a movie coming out later this year. But it's like, it's basically those memories have been taken directly. The details of what goes on in the Platinum Zone are redacted, even from this.
Thank you. Noted. So I withdraw my tendril and we zoom out of that. Janet, kind of the sound comes back in from the kind of synth wave that's been playing inside the computer. We zoom out and the voices come back and it's, yeah, I'll take the selfie with you, blah, 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 going on to that interaction.
Yes. Lavinia's flexing. I assume Misery's taking the photo. I have no idea.
No, Misery is outside, remember?
Yeah,
Oh,
as soon
Misery's
as she said, I don't know who you are, but you two are more interesting, I was just like, fuck you.
Right. So, I can expect both of your resumes on the shark finishes.
Yeah.
in the
So what
shark
was your
finishes
persuasion
inbox.
check? Do you remember?
Who, me?
I think before we went off on that slim interlude, there was a persuasion check.
Persuasion check.
It was insight.
I made an insight check.
Okay,
but I
that'll
passed
do as well.
You did not ask me for a persuasion
Okay,
check.
make a persuasion check just now, just to see like how compelling your
Let me
arguments
use
of
my nerd
career
dice for
changes.
that. Natural 19 for 19.
Okay, they're like, yeah, this is a great career change. Like, and like, assuming nothing terrible happens by the end of it, we will assume that you have some CVs in your inbox by the end of the day.
Great.
Mm.
Fantastic. There are departments one visit at a time.
But who's reading the CVs?
My wife.
Oh, sweet.
It's a two-person business. There's no way. Like, we have a union who handles like HR problems for us. They come in and mediate.
Cool. Nice.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Sometimes the children yell at us. Okay.
For the union.
Right. Right. Dream. Sorry, I should have mentioned to the others that I thought you should take the lead, but
It's fine. I think I've just gotten used to it, just being ignored, and yeah, and then Dream just kind of just trails off and wanders off.
why are all my friends depressed?
Uh,
Except for Boomslang,
Slim-
but he's getting laid somewhere.
Slim doesn't get the message and kind of follows Dream. As, where are you going?
Where we need to go.
Okay, let's go. I have information on where we need to go.
Oh, please do share.
Someone does.
And I pass on all that information about the entry requirements and having got us on the list, and things like that. I don't necessarily tell you about the gold zone because you didn't ask about that. I think we might need the others. We don't know what's in there.
Okay.
Probably. I might cast Greater Restoration on Reginar though, because he's being a shit.
I'm gonna cast message on Reginar. So using the dregs of that little bit of like it's not quite mycelium, but stuff that's in your nose. It kind of
Oh.
gets its way up into your brain.
Oh.
and says, "Hello, friend. We found the way to go."
And this message arrives at Reginar as he has convinced Misery to sit down at a kind of Lady and the Tramp style meal that has been made by all of the nonnas in here.
There's the music playing in the background, like.
The candlelight reflecting off them titties.
I've deliberately had the candles placed. I'm so sorry. I need to take this call, and I will stand up and step away.
Are you still in the mech suit?
No.
Eat spaghetti in a mech suit. And just like spinning around.
I'll reply then. Find where we need to go.
We're going to the platinum level. I got us on the list.
Oh, you're very resourceful. Well done, Slim.
I'm just helping.
Will we meet you outside, Reginona's?
I think the others want to move on.
Well, that's fine. That's fine. We'll wrap up here and meet you outside.
I mean, you could just leave the Nonas at it. Like, if you give people access to go into the mansion.
No, that's fine. I'll then turn back to Misery and say, well, I think we've found a way into the fancier part of town. Slim's been very resourceful.
Well, usually I never let a first date take me to the secondary location, but you're doing well, so let's go.
This place will be here for the next 24 hours. So.
And then opens up her notebook, and there's a like the fourth point down is like landlord, and she ticks that. And
Oh God!
She's ready to go.
Oh no!
Problematic
She's not a
queen.
good character.
And I will, like, as we're leaving, just like take out the ladle and go, "You're on shift, buddy," and place the ladle at the front of the entrance to Reginona's, and just like get him to shout for all the elderly to come and have a nice meal.
Elderly, come and have a nice meal.
There's a 9-course meal waiting for everyone inside. Starts off with some cockily, like fried dough balls, and ends with a lovely tiramisu.
It's just going to verbatim repeat exactly what you said, because it's a ladle. It doesn't know what any of this means. It's like, I'm doing what I'm told, I think.
Back in my mix, it will hold an arm out.
Misery lies on the arm, like, you know, like a singer on a piano. Just kind of
Floating along on your broom.
yeah.
Writes in her book, drives.
Yeah.
I'll turn to Dream again and go, do you think we should tell her that he's got a kid? Because, like, even if Regina's got a lot of an inheritance, I don't think she'd get any of it.
We don't know what's going on with Regina and the kid and everything like that. So I don't know. Maybe it's just not business.
Yeah, if he wants to ruin his life, who am I to stop him? Right, well, we've destroyed the HR department, Reginar. Shall we move on?
I heard Slim and Dream did a great job. Well done, guys.
I didn't really do anything, but thank you.
You always do a good job.
Lavinia, you really need to pick up the slack. I don't really know why you're here.
Bitch, how about you watch your fucking
hey.
mouth?
I can psychically destroy you with one word.
Can we not, please?
We've got
Because you
places to
said
be.
please. And then she relaxes on the robe on the big neck arm.
I'm just gonna... Actually, you know what? I'm not gonna walk off. I'm just gonna go, you know what? Moose me! And sort of pump the elk mallet up into the air, and the moosasus appears out of this mallet. And I'm just
What's a
gonna ride off.
moosasus?
It's half moose, half Pegasus. I will fly off.
Yeah. As you approach this glimmering silver dome, there's a sort of small courtyard area, and there is ahead of you a very large man. He's got sort of rich dark skin. He's sort of reclining on a chair reading a book. Very well built, and wearing a well-fitting suit. Did I write this scene specifically for Rachel? Who's to say?
Hey, look, we've all got ears.
He's also a cyclops, and is about 30 foot tall.
Yeah, that'll do it.
The Flaming Heteros and Entourage, I believe, were on the list.
Yes, you are. Please place your weapons, magical reagents, and other magical items in the lockers provided. This is a secure area for the safety of our residents.
Misery zooms up to eye level with this guy and goes, well, darling, there's nothing more secure than a group of talented musicians and their muse.
Make a
Yeah,
persuasion
Slim is
check.
very inspiring.
Can I, as you're doing that, just be playing my trickster's pipes to give you bardic inspiration, which
Cool.
means I also need to roll a d20 to see what additional effect you get.
Cool.
Little
So,
peek behind
that
the
is-
curtain for the people at home. I created many of these items several years ago, and I have no recollection of what they do.
So I rolled a 28 on persuasion.
Okie dokie. He's sort of like,
Let me
I
in, bitch.
I was gonna say, like, he's a cyclops. He very literally eyes you up and down, just like with one eye. It's like, just sort of, well, just the weapons. I think we can get away with it, just between you.
I rolled a 6 on the die, which gives you the blessing of bombast. So you gain a shout attack, which is an action projects a 30-foot cone of 2d12 plus 4 thunder damage.
Oh my god, can you put that in the chat for me, please?
Mhm.
That's pretty great.
Sorry, you want us to leave the weapons or take the weapons?
Leave the
Look,
weapons.
Look,
like-
look, this is Lavinia. She's not as confident as the rest of us. I think she
I'm
might
sitting
want to
right
hang
next
on.
to you.
She just might want to hang on to whatever's in her bag. She's got a bit of a complex. Anyone else feeling a little insecure?
So toxic.
I just wasn't sure what he meant. His grammar's not fantastic. I just wanted clarity.
I know,
before we
dear.
give him the
Don't
wrong
worry.
stuff.
I've got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Shh.
What, oh, sorry, I didn't realize it was your turn with the brain cell today. I'm so sorry. I should have realized.
Before we proceed, does anyone really need their weapons?
No.
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 You're also
Okay.
I have
masters
my
anyway,
items.
mostly.
Just checking. If I have the polymorph, a motherfucker, but that's fine. Let's proceed.
I already did. I don't need no sorcerers for that.
So just to clarify, by and this is me as player asking, by anti-magic zone, do you mean like an anti-magic field where spells don't work?
Yes, spells and magic items do not function
Cool. Alright.
Inside the.
inside the
Zone.
zone. They will go back to normal once outside the zone.
Oh well, there's all those
Are
spell
we
slots I've
moving
got.
through the zone into the platinum area?
Yes.
Is it like a
Okay.
ring? It's a ring that surrounds it rather than the
Yes.
whole area, right? Okay.
Okay, good.
Okay.
Oh, right, okay.
It's basically just like the sort of airport security zone equivalent.
Fuck
area.
borders, am
Okay.
I right?
Yeah. You have to give up your weapons at airport security, and then you get them back once you pass through.
Yeah.
So as we
Famously.
get to the other side of the anti-magic zone, I'm gonna pop True Seeing.
Yeah.
And look over my shoulder. Is this motherfucker in like my mind flayer?
No, he's a cyclops. He's just a really hot cyclops.
What's the,
This is True Seeing, so I see him truly. I see his true beauty
Yeah, it's like wow, like
from the back.
this. Yeah. He has got like the most amazing deltoids you've ever seen in your life.
Pegaclops. Whilst we're in
Just keep
here,
going.
are we all happy looking like we are, or are we happy to all be ourselves?
Reginar, I know we've been arguing a bit today, but I really do like you as you are. You don't need to change.
No, I'm brilliant. I know that. I just mean
Okay.
in terms of making sure that maybe we want to appeal like someone else for the situation we're in, or are we happy just going in as the heteros and our new companions?
Our new DJ and our groupie. Yeah.
Muse.
that works.
Muse.
Oh no, that's Slim, isn't it? Those sounds are so evocative.
I am quite svelte, to be honest. Yeah,
Like,
but no
you're-
one's ever
you're
called me
going to
slim
enter-
before.
Your yellow period of music.
You know what, Lavinia?
Lavinia's
fuck
just
you.
thinking we can
Let's go.
reuse Slim and entertain the baby sharks.
So,
He's probably
we're serving
they're probably
probate.
good kids.
We should be okay.
as
We've got this
you
piece of paper.
That is a
enter
good point.
through the door, unlike the previous two areas, which were sort of luxurious in a somewhat cliche way, this is more like a hospital wing.
Oh god.
Oh, I hate places like this. Why have we come here?
And
Darling,
This place
this is where
tastes
the
weird.
prime pickings are.
there-
You bad person.
oh my god!
Slim's eyes dart to a bin.
Dream just rolls her eyes and just again.
Fuck you.
Prime pickings, what do you mean?
You know what I mean.
No, I don't.
I'm looking for someone rich who'll either tolerate me or die. And one of these options is pretty certain in a place like this.
What about what we've got?
Well, I don't know. Do you fit into one of the two?
I'm tolerating you so far.
That's what I like to hear.
Well, don't be running
No,
off
no,
for someone else straight
tolerate.
away.
Oh, are you getting attached, Reginald?
No.
That was the wrong answer.
Oh
Stop
boy.
one.
Yeah, Dream just ignores that awkward, cringy conversation and just walks. So you have to remember, she is a military ace. So she is trying very hard not to act on old impulses, shall we say.
Get your
Which is-
militantly ace merch in the Science and Sorcery store.
Yeah.
I'm actually wearing it!
I
Group-
also
group-
need, I also feel like if Dream kills Misery or attempts to, it's justified, really. That's
Lavinia
really
will
opened
be
combat.
holding Misery down.
Yeah. Thank you, girl.
We move on.
Anyway, let's move on.
Right.
So,
I am going to cast the locate creature again. Now that we're inside this area.
okay. So, you are getting that same sort of indistinct reading, but from the end of this hall.
He's close. That way.
Am I seeing any bullshit with my true sight?
Just like a really old centaur's bed.
So I'm just reading the
Yeah.
spell description, and it says you can see any bullshit.
That seems legit. I'm sure that's
It's the new. It's D&D 2024. It's the new handbook.
Have true sight, notice secret doors hidden by magic, and can see into the ethereal plane out to a range of 120 feet.
You are not noticing anything particular. So what you do see to give you a bit more to work on, is there is a corridor of about 10 rooms, 5 on each side, and then there's another room beyond that at the end. The signal for Nomdar was from the last room on the left. And as you walk past these rooms, these are all really famous adventurers. These are all like wildly famous, wildly popular people. And as you look through the doors, there's like a little glass window in the doors, and you see these figures that you're sort of used to from pop culture, and they're sort of unconscious and sort of hooked up to machines. They seem comfortable in as far as the thing, but there's like the classical like heart rate monitors like very weak on all of them. And with that true sight, you notice that there are time slowing spells sort of active in all of these chambers.
These old people are in some kind of time warp?
Dream, yeah, roll me an investigation check.
Guidance.
Ooh, what does that mean?
Add a
You
d4.
get a-
People, thank you. And oh, this is oh no! Help! I'm gay. I can't do maths.
Hello, I'm queer and I can do maths.
18 plus 3 plus 6.
27.
Cool.
Okay.
Thank you.
So-
team.
Dream in a past life was in a cult that was really into virtual reality. And what appears to be going on here with this deep knowledge that is definitely a thing that existed before this moment is that these people are in a simulated world and they are getting to have extra adventures which are being recorded and merchandised off.
These poor souls are being exploited.
Shocker.
That's my job.
Someone beat me to it.
It's okay.
Seriously?
We'll find someone for you.
They're creating false experiences. They're creating false experiences. The whole point of being sentient is to have experiences and to learn things and do things. They're just putting these people in a time bubble and pretending they do things, and then other people can pretend to do the things that they pretend to do. It's not. Am I? And one of the eyes kind of, and then comes back up again.
I think we need to put a stop to this.
Let's find the person we came to find first. See if they
Let's start with
remember.
him.
And see if they remember Boomslang.
No, yeah, maybe we find Barbarin, and then we call the Cappy Barbarians to deal with it. It's pretty chill here.
Last time we
Anyway.
called the Cappy Barbarians, we ended up in a riot. But that could be fun.
For context for viewers, the Cappy Barbarians are the cops of Melded. They are humanoid capybaras, because all capybaras are barbarians. And they are cops, but chill.
Yeah, they're
Because
just
this
sort
is-
of ambiently chill people
Which
out
is-
around them.
Which is proof that this really is a kind of surreal, impossible, multiversal glitch.
Let's go and find Nomdar, and maybe he can tell us about Boomslang, and then afterwards we can ask him what kind of contract he signed for this, because it's probably really easy to be exploited if you're unconscious.
Yeah, we'll take a look at the terms and conditions. We'll be in and out in no time.
Heading down to the end of the hallway, and then the doorway ahead of you opens up. And out steps a figure who is also known to you well. This is Brit Annie of the Spears, the famous adventurer mascot of the entire of Elysium Hills. And she just like draws a long puff of a cigarette. It's like, so you found our secret, have you? And what do you intend to do with it?
Not much. Cast Feeble Mind.
Okay, what's 12.
Yeah, fails. 4d6 damage.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
So that is 13 points of damage and intelligence reduced to 1.
Oh yes.
So
Oh,
she
yeah.
just sort of like wanders off giggling to herself.
I will look at Misery and be like, see, I'm good for stuff.
I do like the way you incapacitated that unknown woman.
Well,
That could come in handy.
There's no sisterhood in Misery's heart.
Misery's a bitch. That's why I love her.
I'm gonna push through and open the door to Namdar's room.
So here you see, as you sort of get to the doorway, the bed is empty. There is, like, the machine has been sort of like busted open from the inside, and there is a trail of sort of debris heading towards the final door of the place.
Is there any blood?
No.
Are there any fluids of any sort?
There's sort
Not
of,
like that. Get your mic.
I cast black light.
okay. Nomdar the Barbarin, being the character is, you regret doing that. Is all I'm going to say.
I just what I meant was there any kind of biological trail to follow?
Yeah, there's like enough sort of sweaty footprints. heading-
Okay, yeah, I taste some of them and
Right.
and they
Let's keep going.
and you sort of head through that final door, and it's a huge sort of a glass walled sort of thing looking out onto the green of the golf course.
It's
And-
knowable.
There's a figure waiting by the back door. He appears to be a golf caddy, but in sort of black hooded robes.
Excuse me, we're looking for Namdar the Barbarin?
He's gone this way. Would you like me to take you to him?
Sure.
we have a piece of
What's your
paper.
name? We do
I
have a
am
piece of
Karen.
Ah,
paper. Nice to meet you, Karen.
yeah.
For
Dream
a brief moment, I thought you were regicide.
Oh.
flicks through her journal really quickly because she recognizes the name. It's like, I'm sure I heard that name before somewhere.
Make me a history or Arcana check.
I'm gonna do a history check.
Guidance. Get another D4 on there.
D4, thank you.
Always bring a cleric
15.
or two.
15.
You've got
15.
clerical.
So, you know Karen or Sharon or Chiron, they are the ferrymen of the dead.
Hmm. Yes, you're a ferryman of the dead, so before you take us to him, is he dead?
Surprisingly less so than you would think, but more so than not at all.
Horrible.
Okay.
Is he a zombie?
Oh.
No,
Good.
How does that affect life insurance?
Dream
some
just
mysteries are beyond even I.
and Dream just like closes the book and just like gently knocks Misery on the head. It's like, not the time. Later.
Oh,
I would like you all to make another wisdom save as you look upon the green.
You're a cleric!
Yeah, I'm a cleric, but I also can't roll sometimes.
This is true.
You know me.
So
12.
6 for Misery, 12 for Slim.
17.
21.
16.
So 17 for Dream was that.
Yes.
So Dream and Lavinia. No, actually, let's start with the other three. So Regina, Misery, and Slim. You see a golf course that stretches out into infinity. There are figures out on the course, but they don't seem to move while you have your eyes on them. There's... Even on your rolls, you notice that there is birdsong playing, but it's on loop, about a 5-minute loop. So
If I could cry, I would.
Lavinia and Dream, you are both people who have somewhat more eldritch connections to the mystic. And you stare across the green and you realize that the color green itself has been applied to this place after the fact. It's like you are looking through stained glass and what's behind it has no color at all. And the grass isn't grass. It's endless white. No, not sand. It's crumbled bone dust stretching off into infinity. And a single sorrowful set of footprints trudging off onto the horizon. And Sharon gestures to a little golf cart in black.
Dream goes to the cart.
As you all step
Efficiency
into
with land vehicles.
I would not
Dream has been
surprise-
to many universes that do have great vehicles, and she learned to drive them. So she probably has a driving license or two as well.
Sharon sort of turns to you in a way that is as kindly as a spectral golf caddy / reaper can be. It's like, I wouldn't suggest you try to navigate these sands on your own. And he sort of steps into the... And as you each step aboard the little caddy, it sort of expands sort of smoothly to sort of fit you all, and begins to drive across the sands. And time is time? Is there time? Is there no time? Is there forever, or is there a moment? And there's just white sand and footprints until eventually, trudging across the dunes, is a tiny figure, a small gnome with his butt out because he's wearing one of those medical gowns.
You spoiled it, Alex. Oh my god. Why?
Beauty.
Trudging off into infinity. And he sort of hears the sort of gentle noise of the engine and sort of turns around to sort of eye you up, sort of... You're not him. Or them.
Who were you expecting?
Who are you?
We're 3/4 of the Flaming Heteros, plus Muse, plus Groupie.
Hello.
And
Oh!
Charon's
You're
here as
like
well.
those... You hang around with that Boomslang guy.
yes.
I liked him. He was great. What are you doing out here?
Well, we've got this piece of paper. We're here to serve probate. Which is a bit odd, because you're maybe dead?
I'm not dead. Well,
Oh.
I'm going to kill death.
Oh!
Like, you've got to understand. Like, they put me in one of those chambers, and
Mhm.
I broke out because none of the drugs that those simulations could make were new, and like, I've had them all before. Like, that was clearly fake. So I'm just gonna go kill death because I'm fucking old and I've got nothing better to do, and I'm sober and I hate it and I want to do something big.
Did Boomslang leave you some of his stuff?
Oh yeah. He left me. There was the pipe weed, and the bong weed, and the Queen Maud's giggle dust. Lots of gnome cane. Some rare candy. You'll go mad.
Are we just here to pick up a bunch of drugs? Because if so, I am going to
I
scream.
feel like the drugs
Oh
were
no! I took them
gone.
all.
Yeah.
So, do
What's
you have
that?
anything else?
There was some licorice in there that I left.
Everybody
no,
stand
I-
back.
I took the rest of it.
I
Like-
stand back.
about an hour after he gave them to me.
Do the rest
That
of you
was a
stand
wild
back?
week.
No.
I do what I'm told.
Okay, Lavinia, honestly, I'm gonna do it anyway. Dream, do you stand back?
I'm gonna cast Hold Person on Misery now.
Dream is just kind of like, just still in dismay. It's like, why did I expect anything different from Boomslang?
Okay, I cast Incendiary Cloud.
I was going for a Hold Person to stop Misery because this is none of her business.
You roll initiative against each other, I guess.
Ooh, PvP.
Okay, 13.
16.
Okay, so I guess
Wisdom
Misery...
saving throw.
Wait, I've got my inspiration.
Oh, okay, did you say that?
22.
Nice. All right, Incendiary Cloud.
Okay.
What do
Yeah.
I roll?
A dexterity saving throw.
So I assume you're centering this on Nomdar,
I'm centering on Nomdar.
and how
15.
big is it?
Oh, that's it. It's
Pretty
20
fucking
feet. 20 feet sphere. Well, I don't need to center it on him, but I want to get him in it.
Okay.
And I don't want to get Lavinia in it, but if it can just like, maybe it like singes her eyelashes or something. She's not going to take damage. She could piss me off.
Passive aggressive rather than active aggressive.
Exactly,
Okay.
yeah. How's your
What's the
dexterity
damage?
saving throw, Alex?
Let's have a look. So,
Is 18 your final answer?
yeah.
Yeah. Well, you fail.
Okay.
Rachel's evil laugh is the best. I mean, Misery's evil laugh is the best.
I'm just gonna.
Hey, Misery, do you fucking mind?
He can't kill death. That's how I make my money.
And Dream, totally, doesn't mention the fact that, if you remember, if anyone watched the last series, Dream made friends with Death.
Yeah.
If people remember.
There we go.
So,
Right, okay.
Dream might take offense anyway, so actually might end up on Misery's side, you never know.
I don't think anyone should be killing Death.
No.
What's
Death's
the
an
point?
important part of the cycle.
Honest.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna be real. Death always wins, but I want to
Yes.
fight it.
I mean, do you have anything
Sure.
else of Boomslangs?
How about you fight death, you lose, then we resurrect you, and then there's another adventure you can go on with us.
What's that?
We're going to smash some stuff and free some people.
I do like smashing stuff.
Right?
That
And
is.
you'll get revenge on the people who gave you drugs that you'd had before and nothing new and interesting.
He's like his little. This is
I'm-
not an intelligent man, but you can see the little cogs whirring.
They
Like,
must have a medicine cabinet somewhere. I'm sure that's got drugs in it.
This is all profit core, isn't it?
Yeah.
Fuck those guys. Yeah.
Cool.
You've been imprisoned.
Do you have anything else of Boomslangs? Because he's
Why
kind
we're
of
here.
left. That's why we came to find you. We didn't come to save you. We are gonna save you and the others, just because we're here now. But we're here because our friend's gone and we miss him.
Let's see.
And he left us his stuff.
So,
And apparently you have his stuff, but you ate all of it.
he said the other gnome. You're the best friend, aren't you?
Thank fuck.
Yes, Reginald is the best friend. Yes.
And that he sort of like
To him.
runches round. Now, bear in mind, he is wearing a hospital
no.
gown at this point. Okay, it's back at my house, but there's a little note for you back there that we'll get after we fuck shit up. How about that?
Right,
So-
can we skip the fighting death part then? Because, you know,
Oh
it's
yeah,
just
yeah. Like
just-
we'll fuck up
cool.
Prophet Core, and then I'll fight it.
Just so you know, you will lose.
That's the fun of it. I've never lost.
Okay.
Like you know, Mistra.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, like I pile drivered her once into some shark
You should
nados.
fight. You should fight misery.
Yes, I'm fine.
I mean, sure. I could.
You should. I just think it would be interesting to see you fight misery.
Can we do that
like,
later?
We can
the
do that later.
emotion-
Let's go fuck up some profit cores.
I'm casting like
the-
insect swarm and spike growth and stuff, kind of bringing a little bit of nature back into this
I've
weirdly
conjured a
unnatural place.
really hot celestial just to make misery angry.
With just slightly bigger boobs.
Dream has actually got her Nokia 666 and is calling up Death. To call up Death and be like, "Hey friend, I hope you're doing well. There is actually going to be someone who wants to challenge you. Hope you're up for it. It sounds like it'll be fun."
Oh, I love it when they're so quaint.
Yeah, yeah. He's a really interesting guy. You'll like it. It'll be good fun.
Sounds like, and then yeah. So let's to mirror how we entered this thing. Let's just each of you sign out with how you're fucking up this corporation. The central offices.
So I've already outlined that a little bit, but yeah, I'm kind of summoning, like, seeing the kind of infinite expanse of just kind of blankness that was the golf course of death. That's kind of just triggered something that's been kind of building in Slim's computational slime circuits since that first manicured lawn. And Slim's just like, well, if I'm not going to find any life here, I've just got to make it. And so, yeah, basically summoning swarms of not just insects, all sorts of invertebrates, to kind of just swarm over the machinery, get into the circuit boards, like gnaw through all of the materials and the cables and stuff. Fun fact: the word "to debug a computer" comes from, well, the first time they had to debug a computer, which is when they had to take a literal insect out of one of those big, like, room-sized computers, because it had got in, because it's nice and warm in there, and had settled in the circuitry and had messed it up.
That's cool. I didn't know that.
Mm.
Love that.
I'm picturing that there's just like some executives who get, like, you know, like how the people made of trees in Annihilation. There's just like executives running away who are just suddenly just made of like moss and vines and just
Yeah, I'm just rebugging everything.
yeah. And that was Khalil Thurlaway as Slim, shifting the camera onto Jazz.
Dream, while still on the phone to like Death, just like catching up because they haven't spoken in a while and they haven't seen each other in a while.
Oh, that's nice. That's
Yeah.
nice. I'm glad. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing okay. It's been nice to get back with my friends because I've been feeling rather lonely, and you know, I probably do have to go back to my family and tell them they're assholes for making me grow up in a cult. But like, it's fine. It's stuff I can deal with. And yeah, I feel like I'm in a better place now. So I'm just here actually like messing stuff up, and then just like you see like Dream just like whacking some guy that walks past, just whack him in the face, and just like it's just a really good outlet. I mean, I'm not killing anyone because like I don't do that anymore, but like just letting out my frustrations and just hitting things. It's been really therapeutic, and I've actually enjoyed it. I've done this little bit of streaming too. It's been great. It's just basically like turned into like a little bit of a therapy session.
It's like a rage room.
Yeah, it's a rage room.
Beautiful. And that, everyone, was Jasmine Scarlet at Dream in the Sandstorm Oasis. Let's go for Sam.
driving along in this like black golf buggy in between all of the fucking up of Prophet Core, Reginar will once again cast Contact Other Plane. And I would hope we assume that it works. Just like that I can talk through, not that I necessarily get.
Yes, it's, you get. I think, and I will let Khalil do this specific. I think it's like oh yeah, sorry, you got a missed your call kind of deal.
But would be saying, well, you're a right cunt, leaving your stuff with whoever that gnome was. Led us on like a bit of a wild goose chase, met some mind flayers. I've started a restaurant. I probably should get back and check on Reginar Jr. But just so you know, I've found my own babe. And like in the other seat on the golf buggy, I'll just like slowly try to like do the awkward arm over.
In a mech suit.
In a mech suit. Oh, you're muted.
Well,
sorry.
Wait, sorry. Go on.
That segues quite nicely onto as Sam Langford as Reginar, and on to Misery.
Misery is on top of the golf cart, just casting like mad spells. Like it's like fireball, darkness, mindset, like all these things that you just see people kind of erupting, and she's just like cackling maniacally. And then like she looks down and sees this like big metallic arm coming up and just grabs the hand, gives a little kiss, and then just keeps on like fucking shit up. Like, you know, she has too many spell slots, but it doesn't matter because it's fucking cool. It's like Michael Bay kind of moment. She's just really Mad Max kind of vibe. She's really just getting it.
Beautiful. And intermingled. That was of course Rachel Williams as Misery. And intermingled in this is, of course, Nomdar. Like, he just like headbutts his way through a wall, and then drags these like lawyers out screaming.
I think you're so poor.
I was getting to a moment where it ended on Dagmar, so I could thank her for her 3 years of putting up with our bullshit.
Oh, thank you.
Yes, and Lavinia, our fearless leader.
Lavinia is not a fearless leader. Lavinia is a very conflictable person, and Lavinia is on the Pegamoose, the Moosesus, and she is once again sick of everything. So she is gonna do something she's not done in a while, and call upon IKEA, goddess of Swedish ingenuity and design, and ask for some divine intervention. And I imagine all of the golf course, this neighborhood, just gets ripped up in this massive earthquake and replaced by wonderful Swedish soft furnishings in a variety of colors. And some very sketchily sourced nice wood. And it just, it still looks a little generic, but it doesn't look identical again. And it's all under warranty. She just wants to go home.
And with that, we have, of course, Dagmar de Wedgwood. And again, thank you for these 3 years of utter chaos. I'm Alex. I have been your host tonight, and farewell.
Good night, folks. We will see you back here. Thank you so much for sticking with us for 3 years. It's been amazing. We got lots of good stuff to come, so be sure to tune in on the 3rd of December for our fantastical Discworld stream. We'll see you then. Have a great evening, folks. Good night.
Bye.